Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Act of Love Adoptions podcast. I'm Heidi here with my mom, Melissa. Sorry. Oh my gosh.
Hey,
My brain is like not even working right
it can
now.
be my mom. That's okay. I
Yeah,
can do that.
we'll try that
Okay,
again.
let's try.
I don't even know. It's brain fog. Take two.
Okay.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Act of Love Adoptions podcast. I'm Alyssa here with my mom, Heidi. And today we're here with Avonley Lightstone, who is an adoptee and the author of The Strength of Scars, who has been so kind as to share her adoption story and talk about her book with us today. So thank you so much for joining us. We're excited to have you here.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Alyssa and Heidi. It's a pleasure being on your show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, if you just want to tell us, I did read over your information you sent on. Sounds like you've had a really rough go of it. So
Yeah,
from the get-go, yeah, a
yeah.
hard situation. If you want to explain all of that to us.
So my story starts at a very young age. At the age of 3, I tried to save my mother from a house fire in India. We had a pretty big family in India, 9 kids, one boy, and the rest were girls.
Wow.
Yeah, a big family. And at that time, my mom was making food. As soon as all the kids were gone to school, I was left alone. And then my youngest sister was with my grandparents.
Okay.
And my mom was making food, her sari, which is a very flammable material, caught on fire.
Oh,
And she started screaming, which alerted me that she was in trouble. When I saw her, I saw the flames and her just,
yeah.
it was scary. So I went to my dad and tried to wake him up. He was just like passed out, drunk,
Mhm.
unresponsive. Every time
Mm.
I was trying to nudge him, he just wouldn't wake up.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I was thinking, okay, do I go get my grandparents? But that would be too late. Like, so
Yeah.
instinctual, I went and grabbed my mom, just hugged her really tight, and
Um,
until we both were consumed in fire.
Wow.
And that was the start of my
oh my gosh.
So at
tragedy
3 years old.
at 3 years old.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
That you even had that, I mean,
Just
in,
that instinct
yeah,
to
to do
even try to
that.
go get
Yeah.
help.
And to think it through at that age is amazing to me.
Yeah. Well, I think when anybody is in like a uh an intense situation like that, it's crazy how your body can like react in a
Yeah.
moment.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
like
And
this
like
is what
that
you need to do.
fight or flight and adrenaline just kind of kicks in and just takes
Yeah.
over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you never like as a little girl, you don't most of the time you don't hear parents screaming. It's usually the
Yeah.
toddlers
Yeah.
that are
Yeah.
screaming and
Yeah.
vice like it's the opposite. The mom hurries in, checks on the
Yeah.
kid, what's going on. But
Yeah.
this was like the complete opposite. So I
Yeah.
You
wasn't
kind of
ever
just
used to.
know that something's wrong.
Really
Like
wrong.
mom is
Yeah.
in trouble.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Did
Can
you
you
guys
not?
hear that noise? Somebody's cooking and set off the
Oh,
Oh
really?
no.
I
yeah.
can't even hear it.
Okay, okay, cool. Let's just
You're
keep going.
fine. Yeah. I can't hear anything.
Okay.
That's
Can
a
no.
coincidence.
No, that is crazy coincidence, though.
That
Yes,
is
it is.
crazy.
It is.
Um,
It's crazy.
yeah, so that's just kind of like what happened. I then was taken to the hospital and I had to be scrubbed again. Did you guys hear that?
No, no, we can't hear anything.
Yeah. So then I would had to like be scrubbed from um the debris of the fire that caught on
Okay.
on me. And we lived in a poor area and technology back then wasn't as advanced. So I didn't have any sort of like numbing painkillers or to just numb me during the
Yeah.
process of them just scraping
Probably. Oh my
the
gosh.
clothes, the clothes off of me. And
Hmm.
so then I was then scrubbed clean and then placed on the cot because my face and my front area wasn't burned. And
Hmm.
the way I describe it in my book was I felt like I was like curing like jerky because I was
Yoga.
air drying and there's
Wow.
nothing that they could do. And so
Yeah.
they just came up and checked up on me. And as I was healing, my mom, she was completely burned and they're all over. And after 3 days of her being in the hospital, she passed away.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it was in that moment my dad stopped showing up to check up on me.
Oh. Okay.
So that was really hard for a
Yeah.
1 year old
Because you
not.
lost both at that moment then.
Yeah, yeah. And like I had a big family.
Yeah.
Um, they didn't come check up on me, see how I was doing. So as a 3 year old trying to process what was happening, that was really difficult.
Yeah.
And
Can't even imagine.
then
Not even your grandparents came?
no, I
Oh,
don't
really?
remember my grandparents coming.
Okay.
And I felt like in that moment is when I remembered a lot of things, is
Okay.
because I didn't know what else to think, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I remembered, okay, my mom is gone. I took on all the memories of my family, the location. And
Hmm.
that's where I have like a lot of like the vivid memory that a lot of people say, like, how is it possible like a 3 year old can remember that? But when
Yeah.
you're
Right.
placed in like isolation,
Hmm.
after a tragedy experience that you went through,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
traumatic.
And
That
all you're
sticks
doing
with
is
you.
thinking about it over and over again.
yeah,
Yeah. Makes
exactly.
sense that you would remember it in detail.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that is exactly how I remembered. And then I was in, um, after a few months, I was released and I paid respects to my mother. We were Catholics.
Okay.
Um, and after that, my dad, he takes me to the orphanage. And
Oh,
yeah, it was like, bam, bam, you're gone. I
no,
don't
that's
ever
horrible.
remember like talking to my grandparents, my siblings, or just even having a few days of excitement. I don't ever remember having any of that joy. It
Yeah.
was, okay, you're gonna say bye to your mother.
You went right from the hospital, said goodbye to your mother, and then your dad took you to the orphanage.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And that was the start of my childhood. And it was really hard because I don't ever remember having those kind of experiences. I
Yeah.
my
Mhm.
I only had really good memories of my mother. She was really good to us kids, caring, loving.
Yeah.
So it was really heart crushing to know that you're being treated
Yeah.
completely opposite than what you were.
You're used to.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Polar opposite, which makes it harder. And it's your father.
yeah.
So I
And
think that
I
that's
think
devastating. Yeah.
I think like people grieve and go through like their traumas in different ways.
Yeah.
And I'll just tell you, like ignoring your problems or like running away never will
It doesn't
fix
work.
it.
Mm-mm.
It does not
No.
fix the problem. It
No,
only
it doesn't.
hurts you in the long run. Eventually, those pain is going to resurface at one point
Yeah.
or another.
Well, it also makes your body start shutting down.
It
So
does.
because you're holding on to that, so then your body can only do it for so long, and then it's like, okay, we can't take this anymore. You got to get rid of it. And if you don't, then this starts to go. You have this problem or this problem. Until you get it taken care of, it'll come out in a different way,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And that's with what you just mentioned. I wanted to share that when I was adopted and my mom was abusive,
Hmm.
held a lot of like the traumas on my back. So I never was allowing my back to heal.
Hmm.
So you could, many times you could just poke a pin in my back, I wouldn't feel it.
Oh,
It
really?
wasn't
Wow.
until it wasn't until I got married and really was able to go deep and do some self-reflection and healing inward and
Hmm.
allowing love back into my life.
Yeah.
That is when my back started healing. And now I have like nerve sensation. You
Hmm.
can like poke me and I
Well,
will,
John.
I will jump. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's what I was trying to explain, like how amazing your body is equipped to healing. And
Yes.
if you're surrounded by people that is going to hurt and abuse you, and you're not the type to like throw it back into,
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
know how to handle it, right? And
Yeah.
you're gonna store it somewhere. So people are gonna get cancer from the
Yeah.
trauma if they're not gonna like
Deal
face
with.
it head on and heal from it. But
Yeah.
yes, that's I wanted to share that since you
Yeah.
brought that up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, the thing is that, okay, so you were taken to the orphanage and then you're in India. So then you were adopted from India?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I was adopted into a family of 14 children and I
Wow.
know.
I that's a lot of kids. I come from a family of 10. And so 14 is like, yeah, that's like, oh my
Like
goodness.
a
And in that situation too, I think it's difficult to give everyone. I mean, my family of 10, we're all such huge age differences
Mhm.
that some of us older ones were out of the house before the second batch came around, kind of thing. So
Right.
I think in those circumstances, it's different than trying to get everyone their attention, especially you coming from such uh
just a traumatic
yeah, traumatic
background.
background and not and having that many other children. I mean, just
Yeah. So that yeah, it's a lot similar to what you were saying, Heidi, where my parents had adopted three boys prior
okay.
to adopting the rest of the us kids.
Hmm.
And when I wrote my book and my two brothers, they read it and they're like, the older brothers, they're like, oh my gosh, what you went through is exactly the same thing I went through. I didn't
Mhm.
realize that you guys were going through that. If I
Yeah,
would have
yeah,
known, I would have like stepped in and tried to help.
yeah,
And that's like it like problem repeats itself when you don't get the help that you need.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I don't think like my mom really needed to go through some sort of like
Training.
classes or
Yeah,
whatever trauma. Maybe she was going through her own traumas that she was
yeah,
going through. But you just
Mhm.
never know. And sh
yeah.
really shouldn't think like adopting a child to thinking that, oh, you'll help them, but still have problems
Hmm.
that needs to be fixed within yourself. Because what happens is you project your problems onto your children.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And
yeah.
I think that's probably what happened. I don't know. She
Hmm.
doesn't talk about it, but yeah, um, I was adopted into a ranching home in Utah, and my mom, like, we were groomed to accept our families, our future families. So, like,
Hmm.
when I was adopted, I was like, actually, I was very fortunate to have two other siblings,
Hmm.
biological siblings, adopted into the same family.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is so like me and one of my biological siblings, we were just like set, like, oh yeah, this is my mom, we're good.
Yeah.
We
Mhm.
accepted that. But my older sibling, she was not. She was, she had, she did not accept my mother as her mom.
Hmm.
Like, you're not my mom. Where's my mother? Where's my family?
Yeah.
Like we were just probably in the orphanage for like a year or so. And
How much older is your the when you're talking about the older sibling?
she's 3 years older than I was.
Okay. Okay.
So I was 6 years old when I was adopted.
Okay.
She was 9 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, and so she has a lot more memories of
Yeah.
her family, our family in India, and what had happened. And yeah, she was not okay with what was happening, and
Hmm.
she had a hard time adjusting. And because she had a hard time adjusting, my mom had a hard time controlling her.
Yeah.
Um, and I would say she wasn't like a really hard kid. She was an easy kid.
Okay.
She
Yeah.
just needed a little bit more attention, a little bit more guidance and love, patience.
Understanding, it sounds like, yeah,
Hmm.
all of the above. Yeah.
Yeah. And my parents did adopt like a lot of older kids, and then they adopted a lot of babies. And
Okay.
you could see a big significant change in the way my mom raised us is she babied the kids that were babies
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they didn't have any recognition of their past or families.
Yeah.
But the kids that did, she just really just abused us
Okay. Yeah.
emotionally.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Like verbally and
Hmm.
stuff like that.
Even like physically, there's
Physically.
times like mm, I I was the type to try to please her and to make her happy. So I would do
Yeah.
anything to like do the dishes.
When that affection, that love, or whatever.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she didn't care. She's like, "Oh, you're doing dishes." She'll take anything I enjoyed
Oh,
to discipline me.
okay.
So
Yeah.
there was
So take it
like
away.
I'll just say like when I first came to from India, I came with 8 different dialects, and
Wow.
speaking English was one of those things that you had to like really learn quickly.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Utah,
Yeah.
there's no Indians,
No,
and
there's not.
No,
There's
not
not.
really.
Yeah.
No.
No.
yeah. And so there was like this, it wasn't like a pressure, but I just knew like I needed to learn the language quickly, which I did.
Yeah.
But like on paper, I didn't like make the greatest connection with it. And I struggled in school with math. I
Mhm.
got, I had dyslexia. I was
Yeah.
mixing a lot of like words and numbers out. And rather than having my mother help me out, what she would do is she would just take me down in the basement. I would have my little desk, and then she would just continue to give me homework and say, okay,
Hmm.
do this lesson, but it wasn't at my grade level. It
Yeah.
was beyond that. And she wouldn't sit there and explain to me, like, okay, this is what this is. Here's the instruction. She would just say, okay, you can't come up until at least this is finished. And I would just cry
Wow.
because I couldn't understand
No. I mean, you couldn't
what,
understand your own level. How are you supposed to understand
yeah,
something that's even past that?
And you're still just a child, just
Yeah.
trying to.
Yeah.
yeah,
Learn the language. And as an adopted mom, I have to say that I'm just floored that people are, I mean, like that at all. I mean, I understand. I did take some, and I'm assuming your mom and dad probably didn't have to do it because they did international adoption. Because if
mhm,
you adopt through like state social service and stuff, you have to take classes on
right,
how, because the child's older and will come with, a whole bunch of trauma before they even get to you, that they have to deal with. And so they kind of have you go through classes to kind of learn signs and different tactics to use, which I think would have been beneficial for your mom. The newborns, too, the reason she bonded so quickly is because those babies don't come with all of the baggage, basically,
yeah,
right? And so they're easier to love from the get go because you don't have to figure them out. I mean,
yeah,
because with each of you guys coming as older children, she needed to take the time with each child to get to know you and what works for you, and to also know that not every tactic that you use works for each child. Um, I've got four
Hmm.
kids, and not one of them. I mean, my two girls are biological siblings. They're 10 and a half months apart, but they're complete and polar opposite. I
Hmm.
mean, how I correct one is not the same as how I do it with the other,
Yeah.
or how I talk with them or interact with them. So, and when you have 14, I mean, it sounds like she needed to, yeah. I,
yeah. And I don't know, like she kind of created like a system where like there was like the golden child and like the babies of these kids that she
yeah.
like cared for would like snitch on other kids,
Wow.
and get them in
Uh,
trouble. Like,
So
and
she actually created an environment where it turned you guys against each other.
yes,
Mm.
yes. So then it just came to a point where we're always fighting amongst each other, trying to
Yeah.
gain her love. And it was just really hard. She would talk. This is one thing like I just am appalled with. She would talk to these my siblings in her room, keeping her window open, talking ill about these other kids.
wow.
And I remember taking that in and
Yeah.
just feeling so bad about myself.
Yeah.
and emotional abuse is so hard. It's
It
like
is.
it it really like cuts you to
Yeah.
the core.
Yeah.
And just knowing like what like my mom thought of me
Yeah.
was I didn't even want to be alive. There's so many times I just
Yeah.
wanted to like take my life. I just didn't feel like it was worth it. I try to ask God, like, what is it?
Yeah.
What's the purpose of me being here? Like, it would have been better for my mom to go, like my biological mom to be alive and me go, because
Hmm.
she at
Mhm.
least had, I felt like a purpose. She had her kids that she could raise,
Yeah.
where I was just still young. Like,
Yeah.
so I was like, had conflicts with that idea and wrestled
Yeah.
with God with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was just really hard. She used a lot of like um consequences um to me, like when I didn't, like going back to like education, when I still couldn't manage to do my lessons, she would tell me to go to my room for like 3 or 4 days, and I would
Oh.
be able to come out,
Hmm.
eat, or like
She
drink.
wouldn't feed you for 3 to 4 days.
Yeah, so like my siblings would have to they would
Sneaky food.
sneak, yeah, they would sneak food
Wow.
to
At
me.
least you had your siblings. I
Yeah.
mean, the ones that were older when they were adopted. It sounds like at least that you had.
Yeah, like even like the golden child, she has sympathy in many ways. And it
Hmm.
was like it was really sweet because she was naturally like a very nurturing
Uh-huh.
girl.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
eventually my mom like
Ruined that.
yeah, snuff that out of her.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
Probably
no, it
didn't
was
like
just
it.
really sad. Because when I
yeah.
got to like seventh grade, I I think I weighed like 67 pounds. Uh,
Hmm. That's
so like I
yeah.
wasn't getting even like a lot of nutrition.
No. Yeah, not
Yeah.
if that's how much you weighed. So did the state ever get involved or were you
No.
with that family? You're with them until you were 18.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
nobody like we were in a rural area.
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
So everybody kind of knew each other. My mom did a great job of
Okay.
being able to serve in the community and the church, and so
Yeah.
she had that image of like a
Mhm.
really good person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, we did like my sisters, a couple of my sisters did reach out to get that some help from like a bishop
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
who was also a cop,
Oh,
and
nothing
Mm.
he
happened.
yeah, nothing happened. So
Okay.
at
I'm
that
sorry.
point I was like, there's no reason to talk about it because I would get people saying things like, hey, you need to be grateful for your mom. Like she adopted you
Yeah.
kids. Like you could have been married by this time. Just all these um, negative things that makes one kid question, like, yeah, maybe I am complaining too much. Maybe I should be grateful for what I have.
Yeah, just kind of like being gaslit almost.
Yeah, it was very much like gaslit. Hmm.
Yeah. Well, and it makes you feel, I mean, that's something you carry with you, right? Like you only deserve to be loved this way or
Hmm.
only this much. And you shouldn't expect anything more. And if you are, that means you're ungrateful for the little amount that you did get. And
Hmm.
that's not right at all. For people to make you feel that way. And I don't know, these kind of stories make me angry.
Yeah. Yeah, it
You
is.
know,
It's really sad. Like, although I went through a lot of like the abuse, the community I was raised up in were really good.
okay.
Um, and so that was like worth it. And my dad, he was a really good guy,
Hmm.
and he expressed many times that he didn't want us kids. He was like, I don't want you kids.
Hmm.
And I'm sure it's because when he raised those first three boys, he probably saw the
Oh yeah,
problematic
what
of
was
what was
wrong?
happening. And
Yeah.
then again, like my mom is like, he worked really hard for his ranch. And I'm sure my mom threatened him a lot that she's gonna divorce him, take everything. And
Yeah.
where he was a cowboy, he worked really hard for it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure what kind of agreement that they had. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so he didn't get involved in punishing the kids, and he just couldn't say anything to us kids.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
Either
that
way.
was, yeah. But other
But
than that,
he
like,
he didn't treat you like your mother
no,
did, though.
no, he was actually well known in the community, being like one of the best men like
Yeah.
ever. And he was
Yeah.
really loving to all of his children and just people that he would meet. He was a good guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At least you had, I guess, I don't know, something
Yeah,
good.
at least you had like one parent that was kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
motivated a
Yeah.
little bit, but I can't even imagine growing up in an environment like that.
Mm, no, no, it's
Yeah.
horrible.
And I think what was also nice is being adopted in a ranching home,
Mhm.
because we had a lot of land. And
Yeah.
so there was a lot of place to run away.
Yeah. You could
Mm-hmm.
hide,
You
right?
can hide. Yeah.
And go escape whenever you needed to.
Yeah, and they couldn't find you
Yeah.
if you needed time away. So
Mhm.
I'm curious as to your other two siblings. Were they adopted the same time you were?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
you all three came together.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So your biological father, he didn't just take you to the orphanage. He took all of you children
So like the first time he took me to the orphanage.
by yourself.
So like yeah, so the first 2 weeks I was alone. And
Okay.
then I think where he couldn't raise the other kids, he
Hmm.
decided to like take the rest of the three girls. Uh,
Okay.
so the two were adopted with me, and then the baby was adopted to a family, I believe, in Washington.
Okay.
My mom was, I guess, my mom wanted her, but they said no, where you're much older and you already have a handful, like we,
Yeah.
a lot more
Mhm.
people will want little babies, so we
Yeah.
were split up there.
Oh, okay. Which is sad, but then it's probably good your mom didn't get her. It sounds like
Hmm. Yeah.
because it would have
Just
been more of a
added to it a
problem.
little bit more.
So, um, are you close with your siblings?
That's
Any of them?
so it's it's such a different like dynamic in that family because
Mm-hmm.
everybody is against each other.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
she turned them that way. So
Mhm.
the two sisters that came with you, your biological sisters, are you close to them at all?
So like my older biological sisters, I am. We're
Okay.
really close. She lives in American Fork. And the
Okay.
other one, I was really close to her, but she's again like we're always trying to find ways to like pin each other against the other person. So she was dealing with my mom and getting the affection that she needs from my mom. So my mom was using her for
Okay.
resources and information about
Mm-hmm.
what's going
Mm.
on with my family. And I just told her, like, no, I don't want to have anything to do with that. And so
Mm-hmm.
she just kind of cut me off after that.
Okay. Oh,
Mm.
that's
Yeah.
that's
That was
okay.
hard to have
Yeah.
to come to terms with that. You
Yeah.
can't really
Yeah.
feel if
Well,
there's that trust that's not there.
Yeah. What about the three older brothers?
the three, yeah, I talked to them.
Mm-hmm.
They they're much older and they're very grateful that I wrote that book.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? I'm just really glad that you wrote that book because they went through hard times too,
Yeah.
where my mom would whip my brother with a
Um,
belt for like and a lot of punishments. Like my mom would just like she would just get triggered for any good thing that you would do.
yeah.
I remembered she would just send me outside when it was cold and not let me in. And I didn't have any shoes or anything. I would just have to stay out there until,
For no reason. She
yeah,
could
for no
just send
reason.
you out
And I
there.
remember cuddling with my dogs to stay
Mm.
warm. And yeah, the same thing with my brother happened. But yeah, no, I wrote the story not to like get pity. It's more of there's these stories are real.
Yeah.
And I want other people to see that the struggles in your life and the scars that you gain from it doesn't mean that you have to stay stuck.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like use your story as strength. Use it as a beacon to help other people.
Yeah.
Because people are get inspired by stories.
They do. They
Hmm.
do. And I think that one they can get from you is that no matter where your scars come from either, I mean, you've been able to from the time you were 3 and then being put in a family like that, that's a lot of stuff to have to go through and unpack
Hmm.
for you in order to get to a place of healing. Um, how long did that journey take you and what started you down that path?
So I think I was fortunate to be adopted into the LDS home
Hmm.
Hmm.
because I believe knowing that God existed really helped me during those hard times
Right.
because I would be able to pray and cry myself to sleep knowing that God had my back.
Yeah.
And so I just really relied on God during those hard times. When I got older and graduated from high school, I remember going to college and feeling completely, utterly like awkward
Hmm.
because I was so shy and I didn't have any confidence in myself.
Yeah.
And I was always like I was shaking because I
Hmm.
was always trying to please and make like the teachers like me, like
Hmm.
you
Yeah.
go through that. And
Yeah.
I realized as I was watching other students, I saw like how other students were very confident in themselves, and those confident students had really good relationship with their family,
Yeah.
and they were going back during the holidays. So I was starting to pick up how like family can influence
Yeah.
what the bringings in your future, like college and stuff.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that's when I realized I had problems
Yeah.
because many times I was in denial. I didn't even though I knew my mom was doing the wrong things,
Hmm.
I was in denial in many ways because I didn't want to feel like I was adopted into a bad family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know? And so I didn't want my mom to look like a bad person. So I would convince myself, like, no, this is okay punishment. This is
Hmm.
fine.
Yeah.
And
Don't
it was
talk
just
about it.
ingrained in you by that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I just started realizing that was wrong. And when I got married, and like you had mentioned, when you suffocate things inside of you, eventually it's going to purge
Yeah.
later on.
Yeah.
So when I got pregnant with my first daughter, I think like your body kicks into like motherhood, like trying to get
Yeah.
you prepping, like
Yeah.
nesting period, all that stuff. Like
Hmm.
what's best for your kid. You think about the future of the kid, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Hmm.
it was in that moment where I just started feeling so disgusted.
Mm.
Like I just remember like going back to how my mom was treating me. I'm like, I would never do that with my kid.
No. Yeah.
And it was affecting me emotionally.
Yeah.
Um, and I just couldn't handle it. So I told myself like, okay, I don't want to pass this on to my child.
Yeah.
Like,
Hmm.
if it ever ends up resurfacing, because it becomes a generational
Yeah.
traumatic
Hmm.
event, and I just didn't want to pass that on. So I started really focusing on helping myself. So I would take um, some self-help books to read to kind of help lift my spirit.
Yeah.
I started purging a lot of what had happened on like in my like journal, and I
Hmm.
just started writing letters, just taking it all out. And I
Yeah.
think eventually that's how that book came about. Um,
Hmm.
I never sent these letters to my mom because I was angry, I was upset.
Yeah.
I threw all that
Yeah.
in there, and I started listening to like YouTube videos at the time because I don't think podcasts existed.
Yeah. No.
Um, just to be inspired to kind of help me with my healing journey.
Hmm.
And as I was doing that, I noticed that my back started healing
Oh,
and I started gaining a lot of healing. And I realized how much that we need each other, like
yeah.
humans need each other.
Yeah.
We need to, we can help heal from each other and grow. And
Yeah.
our journey is like trying to be a better version of ourselves. And it's
Yeah.
not about like, hey, I'm gonna tear down my siblings
Yeah.
to be better than them. No, or like your coworkers, you know, it's your journey. How can you take what you went through and learn from it and become a better individual? And that
Yeah.
is what really helped me to like, I want to be better. I want to help somebody else out.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
that's
eventually,
amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
eventually I went through that, went through like forgiveness process where I went and forgave my mom a few times. And I talk about how like forgiveness isn't like there's not like a one way of forgiving somebody. Every
No.
single
Mhm.
person is unique. So your forgiveness process is going to be completely different from
Yeah.
what I go through. In
Yeah.
my
Mhm.
situation, I felt like God wanted me to talk with my mom and
Mm.
let her know like there's going to be a divide eventually in the
Yeah.
family. And by approaching her, it gives her an opportunity to reflect on herself and apologize and move forward.
Yeah.
Right.
But she wasn't wanting to do that. I've tried like 4 or 5 times with her, just
Hmm.
wasn't successful. And that's when I told God, like, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
I can't help my mom. And
No.
he just was like, you've done everything that you can do. Then give that burden to me and like pretty much take your family and raise your family.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so in that moment was a miraculous thing that happened. Uh, he took away the urgency of being suicidal. So
No.
I never had any suicidal tendency after that. Because I was
After he
suicidal
passed.
even when I was married,
Yeah.
uh, because a lot of the things in the past would come back and haunt
Yeah.
me.
Mhm.
And it was just really hard to recover from it. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was just my journey of healing and then giving it to the Lord and
Mhm.
then moving forward with my own perspective. And eventually he was like, write that book.
Mhm.
And I'm like, no, I don't want to. No, that's really personal, but
Mhm.
eventually kind of convinced me that there are people out there that's in a worse situation than I
Yeah.
am, that just need inspiration, word of advice. And if so, I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I'll write this
Your
book.
yeah, your story.
It's confirmation that your
Yeah.
story needed to be shared and put out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And and
yeah.
and too, like when you said you wanted your biological mom to survive because you thought that she had more to give. Obviously, God knew what you had and knew the path that you were going to
Hmm.
take and what he was going to use you for, and that's why you were
Yeah,
the one that survived in that moment. So,
right. And that's where I tell like people that's going through a hard time. Um, God's not ever going to place you in a place in a situation that you can't handle.
yeah.
So
Right.
the fact that you're in it, saying that you're strong enough to handle that.
Yeah.
And that's like, that's so profound. And just make sure that you keep your like covering of his protection over you and
Yeah.
pray for yourself in those times when you're going through hard times because you never know like how he's going to transform you
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and
Mhm.
And that's true. Don't you think that that's one of the hardest things though to remember and to give
Mhm.
you I mean
Like once you're in
to
it, you're
say
like, what am I doing? Like,
I
why
can't
is
I'm not going to
this?
make it through this, but
yeah.
that he knows and to have faith in him that he'll help you get through it is
Yeah.
beneficial
Yeah,
too.
it's really amazing and we all are just kind of unique and we like one person, like I might not be able to help my mom, but there is somebody out there that can help my mom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I fear God.
Yeah.
That's one thing I fear is seeing him, knowing that I've done all these things, and maybe this is God's way of trying to reach my mom and saying, "Hey, one last chance,
Yeah.
like come
Mm-hmm.
to me." And
Yeah.
like like I God can help those people too,
Yeah.
Right.
and this is another reason why I'm sharing this story is the more people that share their traumatic experiences, the worse it's going to fear like abusers because they're not going to want to be in
Yeah.
part of the next story of a
Yeah,
book.
no, that's
That's
definitely a good perspective on that too.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because the more people talking, they don't want their name out there either.
yeah,
Mhm.
Right. If you talk about
exactly.
it. Yeah.
Kind of hold
So
us accountable.
would you, because you were adopted and the family wasn't that great, and we're an adoption podcast, do you believe in adoption at all?
Absolutely, I
Okay.
do. There's so
Okay.
many like there's so many good people out there that I've met that have adopted um,
Hmm.
kids, and they're wonderful parents,
Mhm.
Okay.
you
Yeah.
know. And so I think adoption is just a beautiful thing. Yeah,
Hmm.
with me, it was just unfortunate, but
Yeah.
there's some really good things that came from my adoptions besides, that part of my life.
Yeah.
I'm just really grateful for it. But if anyone is thinking of adopting, um, I would just consider like looking inward, seeing like why you want to adopt a
Hmm.
child. And
Mhm.
is there anything that's hurting you that
Hmm.
needs to be fixed in your life before you can like adopt a child? Because you don't want to project your problem onto that child.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just get straight with yourself, be honest with yourself and ask those questions. Are you capable of taking care of your kid? Or is it more for like attention, like you want to be a hero,
Mhm.
Yeah.
And if that's the
Yeah.
case, it's definitely not the direction that you want to go. But
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with adoption. There's wonderful kids out there,
Yeah.
and wonderful parents that want children.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I just wanted to ask you because you did have a hard time with the adoption and then beforehand. So, I mean, that you're doing as great as you are is amazing and a testament to who you are as a person.
Mhm.
Thank you.
That you definitely are more of the fighter than the flight. So,
Yeah.
you've got that fight
Mhm.
in you. And I think that we can see that by, how far you've come and by writing the book and getting out of that uncomfortable zone, that you're comfortable in the quiet, and
Hmm.
you've pushed yourself through that so that you could accomplish the things that you feel like God was telling you that He wanted you to do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, and
And
that's amazing.
one of the things I want to tell your listener
Hmm.
is just because somebody is silent and they're going through a lot of abuse does not mean they're not strong.
Yes.
For sure.
It's during those times that God is working through you. He's
Yeah.
kind of refining you. He's trying to work with you. He's trying to heal you. And because you, like, I could have easily like talked about my problems as soon as I got out of high school,
Yeah.
but that wasn't the right time because I was going in a place of attack,
Hmm.
anger,
Yeah.
resentment, and it's not really going to help people,
Yeah.
right?
Or
So
yourself, right?
yeah,
Or
I'm
helping.
just going to be miserable. I'm just
Yeah.
creating this misery. So that's
Yeah.
where I'm like saying like, um, if you are in the phase of being silent, it's okay. Allow, take that in as much as you can, learn from it and learn what God wants you from it. Eventually, there's going to be a time where you're going to emerge from the shadow,
Yeah.
and when He wants you to share your story,
Mhm.
you'll be ready to share your
Yeah.
story.
Definitely.
I think that's good. Yeah. To let people know that. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. I mean, the thing is that your story is amazing and your strength is amazing.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, and just as far as you've come, and I have always been more, and people wouldn't know it now, but more on the quiet end of things. And so I like how you said that because I'm a firm believer in just because I'm silent doesn't mean that I'm not a strong person. I'm
Hmm.
choosing to be silent in this area. But if you push me too far, I won't be silent.
Yeah, silence is
Mhm.
not a sign of weakness. I
No.
think you
Yeah.
just said it
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I totally agree with that. So, is there anything else you've given us a lot of nuggets already? But before we let you go and prepare your pies, did you say you're making pies today?
Yeah, I know. Thanksgiving's just around the corner.
Yes, I
Yeah.
know. Yes. Is there anything more that you want to say just
Just
before we go?
general just message to anyone in the adoption community that you just really want people
Yeah.
to take from all
Ju-
this.
I would say like I titled that book Strength of Scars because scars relate to everyone.
Yeah.
Even the perfect man had scars.
No.
And
Mm,
so, and he shares his stories in it. It still is like the strongest and powerful story. So we
Yeah.
walk by his example so we can share our stories as well. And as the adopters, like you guys, you're gonna deal with kids that are gonna have scars in their life.
mhm,
And what can you do to help open that up in a way where you can re like receive that love to that child and that child can feel your love. And when that child can feel your love, they will give back in return. So it's just, it goes hand in hand. Just be
mhm,
patient, like God is patient with us. Be patient with yourself. At times, if you are in already adopted a child and they are crazy to you, it's okay to step aside. It's okay to pray over them in silence and just get help. It's okay to get asked for help if you're going through troubled times. And it's better to ask for help than lash out
Right.
and then start picking up bad habits. So get the help that you need and you'll be fine.
Good. Well, thank
Love
you.
that.
Mhm.
That's perfect. So, I'm going to let Alyssa will always take us out, and we will put a link to your book.
Yeah, everybody watching, you can see
Yeah.
her book in the background. Check it
Yes.
Oh,
out, read it. She can hold it up.
Yep.
yeah.
There you go.
And where can people find you, your book? Any?
Yeah, so you can find my book on Amazon, like online, or Barnes and Noble. I have a first, I believe, two chapters, a free part of my book. If you
Okay.
want to get a sneak peek of what it's like, go ahead and sign up and I'll send it over to you. And you can just follow me at Avonley Lightstone on most of any social media. I'm fairly new with the whole media stuff because I kind of don't like sharing my personal stuff. So be patient with me as I build content. But yeah, please share your input. I would love to like talk with you guys and build a community where we can help each other heal and show love to one another.
Sounds perfect. And we will
Perfect.
give your information on our YouTube channel
Yep,
with your
put that in the
podcast.
description,
Yeah.
all her info. Make sure to check her out.
Yeah.
She's
Thank
doing
you.
such amazing things, and we love to see it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, Heidi and Alyssa.
You're
Yes, and
welcome.
thank you
And
for
have a
sharing your
good
story.
Thanksgiving. And I'm sure your pies are going to be yummy.
Yes.
I know. I don't do homemade pies.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
What is
sorry.
your favorite pie?
Probably apple pie,
I like
Oh,
apple pie.
like
I
kind of
also
just
like
basic.
I like berry pie.
yeah. So I'm not like one to like fruit pies. I don't like cooked fruit.
Okay.
I, but I do like coconut pie, coconut cream pie,
Cream. Yeah, I like
Mm.
banana cream pie.
and chocolate pudding pie.
Oh, see, yeah, my sons love that. So,
Mm.
is that what you make?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be
Okay.
making a little like, yeah, just a little bit of everything.
Everything
Yeah.
pumpkin pie. You do pumpkin pie.
Ooh, yeah. I I had my sister buy that one because
Okay.
I can't
You, you
handle.
you made you made like a gagging noise.
Mhm.
So
Oh yeah, because when I first had pumpkin pie, it's just like baby food
yeah,
almost. It
Yeah,
goes down like, ooh.
you're
just
talking
the
to the right
texture.
people because we don't eat
I'm not a
pumpkin
pumpkin
pie.
pie fan either.
No, I
Oh,
don't.
nice.
Yeah,
You guys get
I
it.
don't really care for
Yeah.
that either.
No, that's not my
Everybody else
favorite.
likes it, but we don't like it. So,
Mm, no.
Yeah, it's just not
well,
my
have a
thing.
good Thanksgiving.
You as
We
Yes,
well.
thank you so
appreciate you
much.
coming on here.
And
Okay,
everybody else out there, check out her book, links in the description. And if you want any more information about adoption, visit our website at www.activeloveadoptions.com.
Thank you.
Thank you so
thank you.
much.
See
Bye.
you. Bye.
Take care.
You too.